And how did some of your principal partners who became part of the forum later, what are the challenges? Why I'm asking you this is because many of us are inspired with certain ideas, but we become more successful when we are able to get people around and go our way or that particular way.
Indeed.
And the co-creation really needs a lot of people to come in and do it for you. Otherwise, you think you are creating and not co-creating.
Yes, this is crucial. Yeah.
So in that crucial idea of getting at least 5 people, 6 people, 10 people around you in the form of the forum, what were your challenges?
The challenge was really to demonstrate to those partners that doing something sustainably would also mean doing it in a better way from a business point of view. So these were early days, but we spent a lot of time advocating the business case for sustainable development. Mm-hmm. The way in which both the top line and the bottom line could be protected by getting better at sustainability. Risks could be better managed. Opportunities could be sought after more enthusiastically. And we all the time put things in the language of business, not in the language of civil society or non-governmental organizations. We felt it had to be in their language to get that early interest. So with Unilever, for instance, a very big partner of ours for more than 15 years now, we first worked with them on sustainable agriculture. And we helped them develop a set of principles for sustainable agriculture globally, which all their businesses involved in producing agricultural raw materials could then sign up to. That was in 97, 98. And the reason why that was so valuable to them was because we were able to bring in academics, we could help connect them to that world, but also think about it from the perspective of the supply chain, of the grower, the individual farmer, the person who at the moment is just feeling on the receiving end of everything without necessarily being given much support to do things better.
So it was a more and more, it was getting more inclusive.
It has to, because companies are very complex organizations. You look at a company and you think about it as a discrete entity, but of course it isn't. It has incredibly complicated supply chains of every kind. It has many business partners with whom it co-creates a lot of its products and services. And then it has its customers, either business customers or consumers. And then they have the regulators and the media and communities and civil societies. It's an incredibly complex organization. And you can't just address a company's sustainability challenge within that narrow understanding of what a company is. You have to see it across the entire value chain. That's the only way to do that meaningfully, for a company to transform itself into a genuinely sustainable organization.
Now, coming to India, what does the country really mean to you? And what concerns you most here?
India is an extraordinary country to try and think about sustainability in. It's clear to anybody globally that if China and India can't find ways of growing sustainably, then there isn't going to be a sustainable future for humankind. These two countries are so enormous now, and within a few years between them they will have a third of the human population. So we have to get things right in India and China. And that means we have to work with the spirit of what is happening in India, this move away from quite a centralist, paternalist understanding of how the economy should work, to one in which there is now a much greater understanding of the role of business, of enterprise, of innovation, of creating social value for people in India in different ways. It's a very exciting time to be looking at sustainability in India. So for us it's a fantastic challenge to think about how the forum can be useful to companies in India to co-create these sustainable innovations.
Mm-hmm. But what concerns you here in this country? In a sense, what would really offer a huge resistance or take time to overcome the challenge?
There are many challenges. If you think about the amount of energy that India needs to power its economy. And at the moment there is still a very traditional approach to this, which is we need more.
So do you see strategic speed, acceleration as a challenge?
The growth, do you mean this, the accelerating pace of change in India's
Yes.
economy?
And strategically, in the sense, it's not in terms of more of the same numbers, but strategically you should, if you look at investment in companies, we can boast of some millions of dollars of work money going from industry to the economy. But whether it's really going in the right direction
Yes.
towards cleaner economy,
Yes.
technology.
Exactly.
Okay, and that's what I mean by quickly changing over to conventional to new kind of investment, and in greater numbers also. So that's what I mean by strategic speed and acceleration.
So there's a big question around the power sources that India needs for its economy. The existing system is very stretched. There are huge problems in terms of continuity of supply. The government intends to build many more coal-fired power stations.
Mm-hmm.
That will clearly lock India into a high-carbon, unsustainable energy system. But India could lead the world in terms of renewable energy sources. It is blessed with incredible biomass resources, incredible hydro resources, incredible wind and solar resources. India could be an out-and-out leader on renewable, sustainable energy. And this is a clear choice. It's very clear to me that India now needs to decide which way it wants to go in terms of the high carbon or low carbon routes to increase prosperity. So it's at those kind of turning points. It's the same with water management. Mm-hmm. It's the same with agriculture and thinking about the soil and the biological diversity on which India's fertility depends. So it's these big questions about how to manage natural resources, how to manage manufacturing, industrial development and growth, not to go down a road that is eventually going to prove to be very unsustainable.